Welcome to the USA Lacrosse Women's Training Series for Official Certification. This session will focus on minor fouls. Let's get started. Minor fouls are fouls that do not involve body contact or stick-to-body contact. They fall into three categories: misplays, procedural errors, and illegal uniform and equipment. These tend not to compromise the safety of the game, but do need to be addressed for a game to be fair. Misplays. A body ball would be considered a misplay. That is using any part of the body to deliberately impede, accelerate, or change the direction of the ball. However, kicking the ball in a non-shooting attempt is legal. Using your body to stop a ball from going out of bounds, catching the ball with your hand, or stopping your ball with a chest strap such as in soccer are all illegal. A cover. A cover is guarding a ground ball by covering it with your foot, body, or stick and preventing an opponent from playing the ball. Remember, a cover is only a foul when an opponent is within playing distance, trying to play the ball, and is now disadvantaged. A lone player, or one with only teammates around, that covers the ball to stop it from going out of bounds or pull it back to pick it up is legal. Empty stick check. It is a check that impedes an opponent's cross when their cross is not in contact with the ball. If there is incidental contact from both players going for a ground ball or a ball in the air, this would be legal. It would be illegal if an opponent's stick was knocked away from the ball when they are trying to catch or scoop it up. Warding. Guarding the cross with the arm. If one hand is removed from the cross, it may not be used to ward off an opponent, with or without contact. Elbows may not be used to protect the cross. Remember that warding is a minor foul. The act of pushing an opponent away is a major foul. Removing one's arm from a stick in an effort to change direction or sprint upfield is not warding. Play from out of bounds. A player may not take an active part in the game when their feet are out of bounds. Here's an example. A1 and D1 are attempting to play the ball that is in bounds. A2 is out of bounds and attempting to play the ball that is in bounds. This would be a minor foul on A2. Player D1 is awarded the ball. The ball is moved 4 meters inside the boundary. All other players are 4 meters away, and D1 may self-start. Sometimes this happens when a player is running to stop a ball from going out of bounds, and their momentum carries the player out of bounds, but the ball stays in bounds. Often that player will try to pick up the ball or check an opponent who is trying to pick up the ball while their feet are still out of bounds. Restarting from out of bounds. A player may not commence play with a pass from out of bounds. If the player restarts play with a pass from out of bounds, this is a minor foul. Possession to any opponent from the other team is given 4 meters inside the boundary, and a self-start is allowed. A handball. Touching the ball with your hand. A goalkeeper or deputy within the goal circle may use their hand to pick up the ball. Any field player outside of the goal circle, this would be illegal. Squeezing the head of the crosse, for example, when taking a draw, would also be illegal. Improper use of the crosse. Throwing the crosse or taking part in the game without a crosse. Players may sometimes mishandle the stick and drop the stick to the ground. This should not be penalized. Players that throw the stick at a ball headed out of bounds, throw it to a teammate while exchanging sticks, or throw it to intercept a ball, all should be penalized as a minor foul. Throwing the stick to the ground in anger could be misconduct and could be carded. Illegal exchange of the crosse. Failure to exchange a field crosse with a crosse on the bench without the crosse entering and exiting the field through the substitution area. If a player is exchanging a stick for one on the bench, it must take place in the substitution area. The player does not have to enter the substitution area, but the sticks must be exchanged through the substitution area. In this situation, the coach may enter the substitution area to exchange the stick with the player. Procedural errors. A delay of game would be a procedural error. These are examples of a delay of game. Failure to move 4 meters away from a free position. Repeatedly self-starting beyond 4 meters of the spot of the foul. Repeatedly self-starting when self-starts are not allowed. And any type of behavior in which the official's opinion amounts to delay. Each of these would be a green card. Penalty administration for a delay of game. The first violation to a team is a green card to the team. Possession will change if applicable. The second violation would be a green and yellow card to the offending player. This player serves a 2-minute penalty. However, it does not count towards her card or the team's card count. Any subsequent violation would be a yellow card to the offending player as misconduct. This player will serve a 2-minute penalty, and it counts towards her card count as well as the team's card count. Illegal substitute. A player who enters the field without going through the sub area. A player who enters the field before her teammate leaves the field, such as in this example. A player that is not listed or listed incorrectly in the roster or scorebook. If there is an extra player on the field. A player who enters after the official's hands are on the stick for the draw. Any suspended or ejected player that returns to the game. Early entry on the draw. If a player steps on or into the center circle or illegally crosses the restraining line before the whistle. If they illegally cross the restraining line before possession is established. Players may not step on or over the restraining lines after the official's hands are in contact with the sticks at the draw, unless the restraining line is released, regardless of the number of players between the restraining lines. Early entry penalty administration. Possession is awarded to the opponent nearest the spot of the ball. The offending players will move 4 meters away towards their goal if they are defending. Self-start is allowed unless the game clock has been stopped. Although the restraining line is where an early entry foul would occur, this is different than an offside foul. Improper equipment. Wearing jewelry is illegal. Having hair ties on your wrists, however, is legal. Failure to properly wear a mouthpiece. When doing your stick check, look for jewelry so you don't have to remove a player from the game. Verbally remind the players to wear their mouthpieces correctly. Close-fitting cloth sweatbands, hair ties, and other soft, non-rigid materials may be worn on the arm. Barrettes and hair adornments are legal as long as they do not endanger other players. Head coverings may be worn for religious or medical reasons and must be made of a non-abrasive, soft material and fit securely. If it is necessary to remind a couple of players to wear their mouthpiece correctly, consider a green card for delay of game. Failure to wear one's eyewear properly, or taking part in the game if the uniform does not meet specifications. Illegal uniforms for the entire team is a one-time foul, called once for the entire team's uniforms. The penalty is a free position for the opponent at the center draw to start the game. Playing with an illegal crosse. During your pre-game stick check, if a crosse is too deep, have the player tighten it up, recheck the stick before the game starts. If you find a stick that is strung illegally, they may correct it prior to the game or leave it at the scorer's table. If either of these is found during the game, the stick is illegal, this is a minor foul, the stick will go to the table, the player may have another stick to enter the game. Check the second stick coming in. A goal scored with an illegal crosse will not count. A stick check request by a coach or any player on the field may come after a goal is scored. The coach or player must give the official the number of the player with the stick that they want to have checked. If it is illegal, there is no goal. The ball goes to the center draw line, a free position for the opposing players. The illegal stick goes to the scorer's table. A second stick may enter the field. The officials should check the stick as it enters the field. Other minor fouls. Illegal re-entry. If a player runs out of bounds and enters at a more advantageous position. Illegal stick request, requesting additional stick inspections beyond the 2 that are permitted. Illegal substitution, or illegal timeout, a team requesting more than 2 timeouts. Preventative officiating will help with some of these. Penalty administration for minor fouls. If a minor foul occurs and the ball is outside the critical scoring area, the free position is at the spot of the foul. The offender should go 4 meters away in the direction of which they approached. All other players are directed to go 4 meters away. Self-starts are allowed. When there is a minor foul by the defense inside the critical scoring area and above the goal line extended, the free position will go to the attack player on the 12-meter fan nearest to the spot of the foul. The offender will be placed 4 meters away in the direction from which they approached. All others will be 4 meters away. Clear the penalty lane and whistle start. When there is an empty stick check by the defense, the attack is moved to the 12-meter fan. The defender is placed 4 meters from the free position in the relative position at the time of the foul. Clear the penalty lane and whistle start. Minor foul by the attack inside the critical scoring area. The ball will begin at the spot of the foul. Defenders may self-start for fouls inside the critical scoring area as long as the game clock is running. All other players may be within 4 meters of the player being awarded the free position, including the offender. Again, preventative officiating may save a defender from committing a false start when self-starts are not allowed. This would occur in the last 2 minutes of each half, the second quarter and the fourth quarter, or if the game clock is stopped for another foul. If there is an attack foul in the 8-meter arc, the defense may take the free position at the spot of the foul. If the clock is running, the defense may self-start. If the foul occurs under 1 minute in each quarter, the clock will stop. The defense will be placed 8 meters away from the goal circle, and there is a whistle start. When there is an attack foul in the critical scoring area below the goal line extended, the defense may take the free position at the spot of the foul and self-start when the clock is running. If the clock is under 1 minute in each quarter, the clock will stop. This shall be a whistle start. For a minor foul by the attack inside the critical scoring area and above the goal line extended when the clock is stopped, the free position to the defender will be at the spot of the foul at least 8 meters away from the goal circle. With the clock stopped, this is a whistle start. The offender will be 4 meters away from the free position in the direction from which they approached, and all other players will be 4 meters away. Here's an example of a cover by the attack. The defense is awarded the ball on the 8-meter arc. The attack moves 4 meters from the player taking the free position in the direction which she approached before committing the foul. This is a whistle start. A minor foul by the attack inside the critical scoring area and below the goal line extended when the clock is stopped. The free position will be given to the defender on the nearest dot. This is a whistle start. The offender 4 meters away in the direction from which they approached. All other players are 4 meters away. A minor foul below the GLE. Player O covers the ball. X is awarded the ball at the closest dot. O moves 4 meters away in the direction from which they came. This is the penalty administration for a foul by either team, the attack or the defense, when the clock is stopped under 2 minutes in the second quarter or 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. This is a whistle start.